Hi guys, this is Dan. Welcome to Engelgeist. For those of you that are new, welcome back. For those of you that are, welcome. For those of you that are returning, welcome back. And for those of you that support me over on Patreon, thank you so very much. So this is a broad spectrum reading for the collective for the date of Tuesday, October 20th. It's not necessarily solely set for that date. It can be utilized anytime that you're seeing it. But for those of us that watch regularly, this is to build upon the energy that we're seeing in the weekly reading and the cards preceding it this week. For those of you that are watching on a date that it's not October 20th, that's completely fine. If anything doesn't make sense, it doesn't mean anything is wrong. It just means that you might be working on something different, and that's completely acceptable. You have to decide where this reading fits into your life and how best. If you make any decisions in regards to your life due to this reading, those would be your responsibility, those decisions. Alright, so let's get into the cards and see what's going on. It has been an interesting week so far for me personally, so I'm trying to take myself out of these readings. So these are for you guys. Let's see what's going on here. Okay. So we have Braid. I don't think we've seen this. It's interesting to me because the first thing I think when I think about this is I feel like growth may be being cut off. I feel like, I think of the story of Samson and his hair being his power. I think about sometimes how witches use locks of hair in spell work, right? To sort of capture people. And then I also think about that trickery card of Agatha Christie, and she's in the beginning part of this week, right? She's underneath that. To me, this feels a little bit subversive in a way. In the sense, I don't know if subversive is the right word, but I feel like this ties into that trickery card. Like might be something working in the background against us. I don't know why I'm feeling this is so weird. This week is just, I don't know. I don't like to predict sort of negative things, but it just sort of feels like something in the background is not being upfront. When I see this hand holding this braid, it feels as if somebody either has like I'm just going to use this as a sort of example, but this would be like somebody that's maybe important to us or that is connected to us in some way. Maybe they are holding some sort of power or sway over us. We may not consciously be aware of it, is kind of the feeling that I'm getting. It might be sort of in the background. That is the idea with the trickery card of Agatha Christie. To me, it feels like ultimately they have the power that we give them. I want you guys to understand that. And this doesn't have to be a specific person, right? It can be a situation. Maybe it's something at work that's causing us stress or worry. Whatever it is, there's some part of it that I feel like, I don't know why, but we don't see, and it has us, like the way that this hand is holding this braid, it feels like it has us, not at its mercy, but that it is working on us in a way that is affecting us, that is either impeding our growth, not allowing us to feel empowered, not allowing us to sense our beauty or our just who we are, if that makes sense, right? And so it feels slightly subversive or in the background. It may be subtle. It might be somebody we're not necessarily talking to, but maybe they're sending us, bad juju, or they are, thinking of us in a way that's negative, or maybe their feelings, their emotions, maybe their feelings are hurt, and so they're sending vibes that kind of aren't the most pleasant. Does that make sense? We may be picking up on those vibes and it may not be working for us, is kind of the feeling that I'm getting. And this braid to me feels like we almost need to take back our power, take back our growth, take back our strength, take back what is intrinsically us. Remember that power resides within us. It's not within them or within the situation, right? So keep on the lookout for that. This may only be for specifically some of you. Those of you that are having a great week, please continue to do so. I don't want you guys assuming that, oh God, KITAISKAIA. No. I have to pause the video, guys. One moment. Okay, and we're back. So Sven met a neighbor cat. No fighting ensued. It was just a lot of hollering, but Sven's in the house now. I can't find Ingemar, but the neighbor cat is not being very friendly. Okay, so let's get into the Queen of the Moon Oracle and see what's going on. This retrograde, the energy is just wonkadoo. Let's just say that. Sorry for having to pause the video. And let's get back into this. So I think I was saying, for those of you that are having a good week, disregard this. This may not be your reading, right? This might be for people that are feeling sort of maybe off-center, feeling like we're not fully empowered, that kind of a thing. That's sort of the feeling that I get from this card. It'll be interesting to see what the definition of this card is from the book. So let's see what moon we have here. Okay, so we have waning gibbous, which is beauty. I love this card because it sort of shows her face within the midst of nature, right? It is card number 20, which would boil down to number 2, which would be also about sort of coupling, companionship, bonding, that sort of a thing to me, right? The beauty to me is about this sort of braid in a way, right? That's our power, that's our grace, that's our connection to who we are, what we are, right? If somebody is sort of maybe, and I keep going back to this Agatha Christie trickery card, if somebody is tricking us into believing otherwise, that we're not beautiful or that we're not worthy or that we're not capable, if there's some sort of situation or person that's maybe sort of yielding, I don't want to say power over us, because I don't feel like this is power. It just feels like we haven't quite yet realized that we need to sort of take back control, if that makes sense, or empower ourselves to, like, I just feel like we need to snatch that braid back right out of their hand. And that, when I say there, it may not be a specific person. It could be a situation, a relationship. You're going to have to place this where it fits in your life so that we can see our own beauty again, right? So that we can see our own connection to nature, so that we can sort of transform that connection and become one with ourselves again. And that's that energy of that number 2, right? From the card number 20 up here. To me, that's about like almost reconnecting to ourselves, balancing in that, becoming one with that again, appreciating that, stop sort of giving our power to others or to situations that might be trickster in their energy, or that might be undermining us or confusing us or not really fulfilling us in any way, shape, or form. So let me look to the grounding stone really quick before I read these definitions. And we have, again, all of this, everything is obsidian this week. The first 3 stones of this week are obsidian. Obsidian is always a very grounding stone, but it's about warding off negativity, guys. I am going to say this, the word enjoy. Try and focus on what we enjoy. Try and focus on bringing ourselves back into a space of positivity. I'm going to take that advice as much as I'm giving it out to you guys. I need to take it for myself. I am going to try and enjoy the fact that my cats are fighting out in the backyard. I am going to try and understand that this all serves a purpose and it all brings with it growth and connection, right? So we want to see that, we want to understand that, we want to stop maybe giving our power away to others or to situations that like aren't necessarily serving us, and remember to sort of get back to enjoying whatever it is that we're working towards, working on, desiring, that sort of thing. So let me get back to, let me see what Braid has to say. I'm interested to see what Braid, because it makes me feel sort of weird. Identity, survival, and the opinions of others. Interesting. I feel like, as far as identity, I feel like this is sort of our own personal power, our own sort of magic, our own personal individual stamp of magic. And I feel like somebody or some situation may have a hand on it, or a hold on it in a way that we might be unaware of that needs to come clear. And we need to snatch it back. And that is this beauty card, right? Where when we find the beauty in things, even in situations that might be, you know, annoying or whatever, we can actually free ourselves from them and begin to enjoy them. They hold less power that way too. So beauty is waiting gibbous number 4. Beauty is like medicine. It can heal even the most broken spirit. Beauty is everywhere in nature. Just look. Beauty comes in many forms, and we can choose to find it. I love how I look. Rid yourself of clutter and what you find disagreeable. I see beauty everywhere, and it raises my vibration. One of the high needs in my life is that of beauty. I need to be exposed to what I find beautiful, often to be at my best. You might find that a strange need a strange need, but it's far from uncommon, especially among creatives and artists. Beauty to me isn't lots of makeup or fancy skincare or society's current beauty ideal. For me, beauty is nature and having things I find beautiful in my environment. I look around me as I write, and I can see the inky dark clouds racing across a violent sky and the birds riding the wind, and it's beautiful. On my desk is a small piece of glass my friend made for me and a small bowl full of summer frangipani. My feet rest on a hand-woven carpet of desert colors, and my toenails are painted a shimmering turquoise, my favorite color. All of these are expressions of beauty to me. They raise my mood. They give joy to my eyes, my heart, and my mind. Everyone can experience beauty every day if they choose to look. One of the more important differences between the ancient pagan and the modern idea of beauty is that the old ways state there is a need for the core of the self to be developed and strengthened to enable and foster true beauty. This is an important two-way double punch, as there is a strong mind-body connection when it comes to both beauty and vitality. Yes, while it is acceptable to use therapies that treat or beautify externally, it's equally important to stop bad habits detrimental to health that will interrupt the good you are doing. For example, you could be using the most effective treatments on the market to nourish your skin, but if you can't give up smoking, there's a finite level of health that your skin can achieve. The unbalanced first world ideal of beauty is at its zenith right now, with more people than ever before undergoing and normalizing plastic surgery and injectable chemicals. Everyone has an individual right to decide how they wish their body to look and adopt an idea of physical beauty. However, it's the source of the influence that is worrying. Who told a woman who has altered her appearance that there was something wrong with her face, eyes, smile, expression in the first place? Who had the audacity to say you are not enough because she had some smile lines? And I feel like that's sort of, this is off topic, but I feel like that's sort of this hand holding this braid. Like, where in our life is our personal power being held by something else? Think about that. Who is making women in particular so fearful? Who or what wants you to question yourself in the very essence of how you interact with the world, and why? Who wants you to be the same as everyone else and less of who you are? Society? Some marketing guy for big cosmetics? A retouched spokesmodel? Real beauty is hypnotic, yet in reality has less to do with youth than it does with the spirit coming through the skin. The word charisma comes from the Greek charis and ma, meaning the spirit shining through. Each of us possesses a unique beauty, one that gives us confidence if we recognize it. Each of us is desirable, each of us is perfectly formed to be what we want to be. But should we become too obsessed by the external, something that is, after all, fleeting, we may become unhappy and chase an ideal that is impossible to uphold. The companion stone or metal is Larimar. So you guys, I think finding things that we enjoy also in ourselves, what we find beautiful about ourselves too during this day would be also very key in taking back sort of that braid or any sort of trickery that might have convinced us otherwise of our own beauty and our own sort of connection to that. Does that make sense? I hope so. Sorry that this is such a quick reading, but I'm still kind of getting my bearings from this week. I hope that this helps. Please leave me a like, a share, a comment, a subscribe. Let me know if this has any bearing on your day today. I'm going to go check my cat. I think he's fine. He came in, and so he seems kind of normal, just a little bit shook from the screeching. And please have a wonderful day. Take really good care of yourself as best you can right now, and stay focused on yourself, your own beauty, your own power. Don't let anyone take that from you. Don't let anybody convince you otherwise, right? And remember to enjoy everything that is being brought to you, even if it might feel negative at first, right? Because it may be the exact thing we need that strengthens us to own our power and our beauty. All right, that is your forecast for the day. Thank you so much, you guys. Have a great day. I love you all. Thank you so much for tuning in and subscribing to the Patreon page and everything that you all do. Have a good day. Bye-bye.